Brothers, how you doing on this beautiful morning? I'm sitting behind my wasabi that I've transplanted. Here you can see all the plants. I've picked them from the main ones and I've used them for eating fish. Got the solar panel which operates the pump down in here, so we pump just in there, goes all the time, bringing water to the top, goes over here and it trickles back down from the top, all these tears, and waters my little plants. I'm pretty passionate about plants, and these are the ones I've been growing for 3 years. These came from my mate Stu Driver, and they're all where I've got them from, and I've been eating them as well. Plus I've also got more growing over here. This isn't actually a video about wasabi, I'm passionate about it, so I wanted to share with you guys. Look at these guys. You can probably see in there there's actually eggshell in there, and I put broken eggs and egg in there. I'll come around the back because wasabi loves sulfur. It also likes coffee grounds as well. You can see I've got them growing in there really well right through, and these are all ones that come from Stu, and also ones that I've transplanted from the old ones down there, going really well. I've also got some new ones that I bought, and they're not doing very well. They were ones that came from a laboratory that were grown in a sterile condition, and they're not doing very well. They're alive. That's down there. This video today is not about wasabi plants. I just wanted to come down to my happy place and tell you what growing plants, how it makes me feel. It makes me feel happy. On my glass house that Craig bought me, or whether I'm doing these guys just in here or my strawberries, it just makes me happy. It makes me feel good. Plants are something that give us not just nourishment in the way of our bodies, but also give us emotional and spiritual and mental nourishment. If it's something like an apple here, you just look at it and the feeling is there's food there for the future. It's like a promise of a resource that we can get. Or something like these mandarins here just on the tree. Vitamin C is going to make us feel good. Could be your strawberries. My strawberries are actually underneath this bit of plastic because the birds eat them. A bit of plastic there, and this is grown on my old, oh, they're all gone. Oh no, that was full of strawberries. A bird's got in there. Oh shit, this was full of strawberries. Oh, there's a few on this side, but something's got in there. Oh man, you can see some down here. Jeez, oh right, okay. They are so hard. They're so difficult to try and... I'm going to take the plastic off that because the birds have got them. I think that's part of growing anything, is working out how to keep stuff safe from all the pests. That's part of it. I try to be spray free and as organic as I can. But I do feed the birds. It's not my intention to feed the birds. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to peel this back. Oh, there's a few in there. I think what's happened is it's been so humid they've actually gone rotten. There's a few nice ones. There's a nice strawberry there. And they should actually be on straw, so they're not going rotten. And that's one of the reasons that strawberries are called strawberries, because they're grown traditionally on straw so they don't go rotten. I also have all my mussel boys over here. This is my yams, and look at these guys. They take a year to grow. And these are all the mussel boys right down to there. Got heaps of food. And I've got my glass house over here. I come out here in this area, it's a bit of a mess, but it's my mess. I come out here and I look at my plants, see how they're going. These is wasabi here, and again you can see all the leaves are all turned up because they've been trying to capture the rain. We just had a lot of rain and they love the water. And amongst my wasabi I have also growing coriander there, which offers a natural shade. I've got a worm farm, which is an old bath, and the coffee grounds and all the waste stuff that we have goes into the worm farm, and then it goes back into feeding the plants. I can have it down here. This is a wee sort of grid going across section of a beehive. You can see that in there the juice that comes out, the worm juice. That's to stop the ducks drinking it. And I keep a layer of this blanket over the top of it. It's just an old claw bath. It's been used for many things, scalding pigs, bathing in. I'll just peel this back and you'll see the worms will be under there. Look at them, heaps and heaps of worms. Look at that, hundreds of worms. Oh wow, And it was a handful of worms that came from my dad's place, and we've got worms for miles. So they are enjoying that coffee. I have different plants I experiment with. I've got gardens that just I leave wild. Over here by the house truck, I've got these tomatoes that have had nothing done with them at all. A bit of weeding could be done, but they're just sitting here in a polystyrene bin. Come over here and a bit of dock grows in there, but I'm not getting the roots there, so I don't worry too much about these guys. Just let them go wild and see what becomes of it. That can come out of the ground because it's strangling the plant. And occasionally, when I think about it, I come over and pull the odd weed out, but really, just leave them. It's nice to get involved, get right amongst the plants. Because I'm a bloke that lives alone. Here's our ducks in the grass, he's just chilling. Because I'm a man that lives alone, I don't have a partner living with me to help share the work, so I do it all myself, and consequently I don't really keep on top of it. I do as best I can. This here's a, what is this here? Who can tell me? You know what this is? It's actually a guava, but it's a guava berry. And I'm going to take some of the weeds around here. And man, look at the size of this thistle. You can actually eat thistles. Here's another guava berry down here. And I do try to weed around it a little bit, but they're a really delicious berry to eat. And beside that is my ferns, my fernery, which is going really well behind the house truck. Down here, these are a nice plant and they're easy to grow. This is a feijoa plant, and they're prolific food. See a few mushrooms coming through right now. We can't eat these ones. Take these weeds out while we're down here. One thing I also grow is I grow stinging nettle, and I grow it down in my little forest behind the house truck here. I've got a wee forest. This is my little place I get away. This is where I come to do my grieving for the people that I've lost. It's a really important place. It's a spiritual place for me. I've got a little fire here. The last thing I grieved down here was my dog, Bruno. And it just has a feeling of calmness. It's beside the chickens. And in a pot here you can see I've got stinging nettle growing here. Some stinging nettle, and that's for stinging nettle tea. Stinging nettle tea offers you such good therapeutic, there's so many therapeutic uses. Just Google it. I won't talk about that too much because I run the risk of saying something wrong and steering the wrong direction, but it's high in iron. And when I was in hospital and my hemoglobin had dropped from 170 down to 64, that was part of what I used to get my hemoglobin back up to 170 again. It was that and a combination of eating liver every day. This is my fireplace. It's currently falling down because we had a bit of a storm. This is where I come to grieve. And again, it's got bush all around me. I sit in here. I'm not far from my home. I've got the chickens, the ducks, the house truck around me, but it's a place I sit. Often I light a fire with my thoughts and I burn it and let it go. So if you have something that you're grieving, or somebody that you're grieving for the loss, it's important to write down your feelings, so how you feel about that loss, and to release it back into the atmosphere in some way or another. It works. It's really helped me a lot. This has been a year of loss for me with people and dogs and things, so I've had a lot of grieving to do, and it's been hard, it's been challenging, and it's been painful, but it's also part of what we all have to deal with, and we need to have systems in place so we do deal with it, because if we don't deal with it, it deals with us. The painful things that we have to look at, we have to take control of them, because if we don't, they'll take the path of least resistance and they'll control us, and we'll start doing things that are unhealthy for ourselves, like drowning in alcohol or drugs or excessive work or excessive fishing like I've been doing the other day. Actually, that's not for that reason, that's because I want to get the buzz of catching another kingfish. The garden is an important place for me, and I never have been a gardener until COVID came last year, and it forced me to stay at home and stop hunting and fishing, and I created a garden. And now I've got this garden, which is just awesome. I've just killed one of these guys to eat. I let them roam free because they love to eat slugs. Chickens don't eat slugs, ducks do eat slugs. And because they eat slugs, That's a good thing, because slugs destroy your garden. And somebody has been smashing over my, this is a kefir lime this morning. Something's gone. I think this kefir's dying in here. I've had real trouble trying to grow these guys. This one looks like he's on his way out. He's not looking very healthy at all. I don't know what's going on there. I wanted to share that with you. Have a fantastic day, guys and girls. That's my garden, or a little bit of my garden. The garden that young Spencer that stayed with me for nearly a year grew is in there, and it's gone wild. It needs a weeding and a seeding. There's some stuff that's growing really well, but it needs work because everything's going crazy right now. It's just another job for good old Clay when he gets a chance to get in there with his tool, but there's just not enough hours in a day. Check on a brother and try doing something with gardening. I remember watching the Ruahine Hunters video where he had bonsais, and bonsai is something I've always enjoyed, and he talked about that being therapeutic, and I get that, man. I do. I totally get that. Working with plants is very good for us. Getting out and being grounded and getting back to that. Give it a crack. Go steady, check on a bro, and I'll see you in the next bro check video. See you later.